So it's not nice to see an animal with an injury like this, but unfortunately the policy is that we don't interfere, especially if he's not losing condition. Hello, Grant from Sydney, who's missing the bush. I'm assuming that means, Grant, that you have emigrated from our shores, and I'm sorry about that. At least Sydney is a beautiful city to be in. Grant, you want to know, would Junior basically join them at Birmingham Boys? And for those who perhaps just joined us, the Birmingham Boys are a group of 5 young male lions who are looking to sort of take a territory now. Well, this fairly ridiculous old fellow tries to chew on a tree and some grass. And Junior is a 3.5-year-old male who... yeah. Sorry, Grant, I'm going to get back to your question. Just look carefully if he opens his mouth again. This is not a 10-year-old lion. He's got big, sharp teeth. His teeth are much too sharp for a 10-year-old. Anyway, Grant, so you basically want to know about the size of a coalition, how big can they get, and what's the biggest I've seen. I know of a coalition of 6 that has come into this area. I know of a coalition of 9 that has been in and around the Manyeleti. Remember, those coalitions are very unlikely to last at that size. So they will definitely split up, Grant. But at 6 is not entirely unusual in this area, especially while they're trying to take a territory, and then they will probably split up. And if they take a territory, say 6 of them take a territory, that will probably constitute 4 or 5 prides, and then they'll tend to kind of focus on 1 or 2 of the rest, or 1 or 2 of those prides. So they'll split up. 3 will be in the northern section of the, one section, and the rest will be in the other. Cool. But what is interesting? Okay, we're gonna nip across to Jamie. I seem to have got ourselves slightly stuck. I hope it's not a permanent arrangement in front of this line. But we're going to go across to Jamie, get an update on Karula, the Queen of Djuma, and I'll see you just now.
So guys, welcome back. I hope that you've been enjoying your time with James and the Ginger Matimba male. So just a quick update. Unfortunately, Karula kept moving in a very, very thick part of the block. So we did try and follow, and we had one very brief visual. The Inyala went absolutely insane. She bumped a little herd of Inyala in there, and they started barking very, very sharp barks. Bah, bah, bah. And the squirrels also started shouting. Unfortunately, it was very, very thick. As you can see, we have acquired a passenger as a part of our bundu bashing experience. So we've got many sticks and leaves attached to the car, and some thorns in both myself and probably in the wildebeest as well. So unfortunately, we have lost her for now. She's tucked away. We think she might have gone flat in that thick section, so we couldn't get another visual. So I just wanted to keep you guys updated. And on the subject of updating you, I have been on the radio because it seemed very strange to me that the Styx Pride were up in Torchwood following the buffalo herd, and I think that they were just misidentified at the time. It is the Nkuhuma Pride up in Torchwood following along behind the buffalo. So we'll keep an ear out for any updates on that situation. Possibly if that buffalo herd crosses back into Djuma, then maybe we might get to see the Nkuhumas a bit later. But I just wanted to let you know what was happening and give James a chance to reposition. So we've been sitting with this herd of Duggar boys. They're not up to much, they're just enjoying their time here. So I'm going to hit the road and see what else I can find for you for the last few minutes of the sunrise safari. And for now, I'll send you back to James and his lion.
And here we are at a beautiful grass sighting with a lion in the background. I really love this time of year for the colours. They're much more subtle than in the sort of verdant green of the summer. And I love the gold and the reds and the subtle oranges. It combines so beautifully with a wonderful lion colour. I mean, look at him. He's so perfectly coloured for this time of the year. He's been most accommodating by sitting up and looking at us and showing his magnificent face. Christy and football expert just asking some questions about why he's eating grass and what he's eating. He is not eating tree leaves. He's eating he's eating grass, and they do that to help with digestion. They also do. They don't. Football expert, you're thinking maybe he's trying to eat some leaves off a tree to help medicinally with his foot. No, I don't believe that's what he's doing. He is eating grass. I haven't seen him eating any leaves. There was some long grass around the trees where he was just now, and that's what he was going for. So yes, just like all carnivores, they will eat grass every so often just to line the stomach with a bit of fiber and help pass through a couple of the nasties that get stuck in their short carnivore digestive systems. Remember, they eat a lot of hair and bone and hooves and things that you and I probably wouldn't eat. And in order to push them through the intestinal tract, they do need to line the tract every so often with a bit of grass and fiber. And so that will just help it along its way. And like I say, you don't want to be here when it eventually does emerge, because the power of the stink coming off a lion's dung is something from the bowels of hell itself. Little breeze coming up, rustling through the guarri leaves. The guarri leaves are the only bits of green that you can see around here. There are one or two combretums and some tambuatis with a few leaves, but mainly it's guarri leaves. And there's just a hint on this breeze, although it's at the head of a cold front. There's just a hint of warmth in it, and a hint and change, directional change. Makes it feel like it's coming from the northwest, which tends to be a herald of the end of winter. Two interesting questions from Jan in Singapore, or Jan in Singapore, and Pretty Nightmare. Basically, you want to know, would we intervene medically for any reason? I think, Jan, you want to know about, basically, with this damaged foot, would we intervene? No, we wouldn't. It's a perfectly natural thing for it to have happened, unless there was an anthropomorphic cause to it, so a snare or something like that. We'd leave it be and let nature take its course. That's because lions, and this leads on to Pretty Nightmare's question, it leads on to it's because lions are not endangered in this particular area. They are near threatened, certainly. But in this area, if we were to help him out, it might give him another 6 months or so. But eventually this coalition is going to fall by the wayside, like all coalitions will fall by the wayside. We're also not sure exactly how it's affecting him. You look at him, his coat is shiny, his mane is standing up, his muscle definition is still good. He's not fat, but that probably just means that he hasn't eaten for the last little while, and but his hip bones aren't sticking out, and that's an indicator of poor health. I think he's in pretty decent health, you know, and he's had that injury for over a year, and yet he's still managed to survive like this. So we don't really know that a medical intervention of any kind to pull that thorn out or fix that snake bite or whatever it is, we don't know what effect that would have on his life and whether it would actually make a difference. But certainly with an endangered species, if we came across a wild dog, for example, that was injured, or a cheetah that was injured, we'd absolutely call the vet in, and the vet would come and dart the animal, try and fix it up. If it was really bad, they may remove it and take it to a rehabilitation center, but most likely they'd make some kind of obvious intervention in this area and then sort of give them an antidote to the dart and let them carry on their way. So medical intervention is kept to a minimum unless, as Pretty Nightmare suggests, there is an endangered species. So let's just have a quick recap of the morning. We don't have long left, and we're going to hand you over to Jamie to say a final goodbye just now. So we followed the tracks of this pride, a pride, probably the Styx pride, onto Arethusa this morning. There were two males, looked like two males with them, and that pride has not been found. We then did come across this magnificent male lion, and he called beautifully for us this morning twice, and it sent an amazing shiver through our spines. Jean-Ray is nodding vigorously now, and our rib cages really kind of rattled as he called. This amazing throaty roar that permeated the vegetation through here and must have traveled, I'm sure, to the other lions within, I'd say, up to 6 or 7 kilometers away from where he is now. Then we tried to find the rest of the pride. We haven't found any of the rest of the tracks, so on the way home I'm probably going to just see if we can't find some other tracks. And he's remained here, very kindly sitting up and showing us his magnificent face all the time, and it's been a real privilege to spend some time with him. You have been magnificent, all of you, with their questions and comments. Thank you so much. You've kept the discussion lively and good, and so I thank you for that. And thank you to Jean-Ray for his excellent expert tracking and work on the camera. And we will see you later this afternoon. We're going to go across to Jamie now, and have a great day or morning or evening wherever you happen to be.
So guys, welcome back to my particular vehicle, which is Jigger this morning, and what a fantastic sunrise safari it has been. So from James's amazing Matimba male calling for all of you guys, to our sighting with Karula. So from yesterday afternoon, following her, seeing her attempting to hunt, and now to see her with a successful kill. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see her again, but we did go back and have a look, and she'd eaten absolutely all of that steenbok, everything including the bones. All that was left were little pieces of the jaw. So she is a well-fed leopard, and she is now once again on the move, and hopefully we can catch up with her for the sunset safari this afternoon. So as always, thank you to the wildebeest for his wonderful camera work and for providing us with those great shots. Thank you to all of the viewers and to Nikki and Lou in FC. And we will see you guys all this afternoon for the sunset safari. I hope you're looking forward to it as much as I am.